You can take the questions. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I was asking you, what is the audience like? Do we have people who have attended SSBs in the past, or do we consider that all of them, are
Some
here?
it's a mix. It's a mix. This
Okay,
audience is a mix. Yeah.
okay, okay, got it.
Hmm.
All right. So, for those of you who have been to the SSBs and, those who get to go for the selection, okay, so we are here to discuss about the psychological tests that are administered in the services selection board, okay. So these tests are generally administered on the second day of your schedule. So all the ones, that is, the first day is your screening test. So all the ones who get screened in, all right, are administered these tests. And this happens early morning on the second day of your 5-day routine. And this takes place in the morning along with the psychologist who briefs you about what exactly is going to happen, throughout the tests. Okay, the candidates are well prepared to attend these tests. So what are these psychological tests? Most of these candidates, like, the questions that I get is, they feel that psychological tests are the most toughest because they do not understand what it is and why it is being done, and how exactly are they evaluated based upon what they write, be it these stories, or be it these word responses, or the situation reaction, or the self description. Okay, you need to understand that these tests are, based on scientific procedures, all right, and these scientific procedures have been existing from many years, and it has been proven that, these are the best for, getting candidates into the armed forces. Okay, because they help these assessors or the board to assess the qualities of a candidate, both at the subconscious level and the unconscious level of the mind. Okay, so that is because we do not want candidates to fake it in these tests, and the primary aim here is to assess the potential of a candidate, be it in terms of his qualities, or be it in terms of his traits, his personality traits, and whether to check whether they will fit into the armed forces officer material or not. So the ultimate aim here is not to find out whether a candidate is good or whether a candidate is bad, or, whether, so the only aim here is to find out whether he will fit in to be an officer in the Indian Navy or the Indian Army or the Air Force or the Coast Guard, whatever it is. Okay, and the primary thing that you need to remember is that these tests are against a time constraint, all right, because you will be given these tests and you will be given a particular time to complete the test. So because of the time constraint, most of them, what will happen to the candidates is that they will let go of the inhibitions that they have, and they will start writing their responses. The actual personality gets uh, seen through these responses in terms of their, say, their thoughts, or their traits, or their feelings, and the actions that they do. Okay, so this is like a brief introduction of what are these psychological tests. And in terms of what tests are conducted during the second day of the SSB schedule, is there are 4 tests. Okay, you generally start with the TAT, that's your thematic apperception test, where you are shown about 11 pictures, something similar to the first day of your screening. And these pictures have different situations that are given, and the candidate is expected to write a story around these pictures. Okay, so that is about 11 pictures shown to you totally, and one picture towards the end, that's the 12th one, will remain blank. They will not show it to you. So there'll just be a blank slide in which you have to imagine a story and write your story. So we'll get into these tests in detail. So I'm just giving you a brief introduction of what it is. And the next one is your word association. As soon as the thematic perception is completed, next is your word association, where you will be shown about 60 words totally. And you will be that is a very crucial test, because there is a good amount of there are a good amount of candidates who tend to miss out certain words because there's no time, because your reaction time and your writing time is just 15 seconds for one particular word. And what we are trying to see is what is the first thought or idea that comes to a candidate on seeing that particular word. So here we are trying to understand what the thought process is like based upon your responses for that particular word. Then your third test for the day will be the situation reaction test, where again you will be shown about 60 situations. These are all very simple situations that you may have come across in your day-to-day lives, and you are expected to write what you would, think, act, and do in those particular situations. Okay, again there is a time constraint. It's about 30 minutes for 60 situations. So again you have to be a little, fast in writing your responses, and the quality of your responses, basically the content, on how you think, act, is very important. And finally we have the self description, where you talk about people's opinion on you, like be it your parents, your teachers, your employers, your friends, and then your own insight about yourself, or your opinion about yourself, and what is it that you feel is lacking, and what is it that you want to do to improve your personality as a whole. Okay, so this is the general background to the kind of tests that are conducted on the second day. With that, you finish with your psychological test, and then you move on to the other tests for the next 3 days. Okay, so this is just the general procedure that I just spoke about. If you have any questions on the procedure as such, then probably we can take it here.
Yeah. So now we shall take questions now. Ready? All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you have questions, just raise your hand and I will call out your name and you will ask your questions. Okay, one by one. Please make the most of this. Yeah. So yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, how to write, ma'am, PPDT story and TAT story, ma'am?
Okay, are you asking me how to write both the stories, or what is the
Yes,
confusion?
ma'am. What are the difference between PPDT and TAT, and how to write, ma'am?
Okay, so first of all, the kind of picture that is shown in the picture perception test, that is for the first day, that is your screening, and the kind of picture that is shown on your second day, they are very different. Okay, so the first one that is shown to you is going to be blurred. It would not be very clear. All right, the picture is going to be hazy because it is designed that way for it to bring out more of imagination. Okay, your imagination is tested, and to see how exactly you can perceive a particular picture even when it is not very clear. Okay, so that is the primary difference between the type of picture that is shown to you. In terms of writing, if you see for the PPDT, you are also asked for additional details. Like you will have to mention the gender, you'll have to mention the age, the mood of the characters that you have seen, and also the action part of it. Okay, so if I'm not sure if you've seen the answer sheet of PPDT responses. So there is a box that is given to you, and you'll have to also draw these details inside the box. Whereas TAT, what happens is you directly start writing your story. Okay, you do not have to mention what exactly are the details like your age, gender, and mood. You do not have to mention these things in the TAT stories. TAT stories, you straight away mention what exactly led to the situation, what is going on, and what is going to be the outcome. Okay, so this is the primary difference between both these tests, but in terms of the story writing, it is almost similar. Okay, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question. Ma'am, what are the minor mistake that candidate done in PPDT?
If you ask me what are the minor mistakes, I would say
Yes, because lots of candidate, ma'am, screen out due to.
okay, see, I understand that, but these mistakes can be in any phase. Like I was just mentioning to Tarundeep that your screening in is completely based on what how you write your aptitude tests in the morning. There is these two tests that you write, right? The officer intelligence rating. There is these verbal tests and non-verbal tests. So these tests, how you perform in these tests, and then how you write your story, okay, in your picture perception, and how well you narrate your story, how well can you communicate your ideas, whatever you've written. Only if you've written well, it doesn't make sense, right? You also should be able to tell what you've written, and then how well you are able to be a part of that group discussion and contribute your ideas and accept other people's ideas. Okay, so all these are different components that help you get screened in or get screened out. Okay, so it is just not the picture perception. So a lot of them think that okay, मैंने बहुत अच्छे से story narrate किया था, लेकिन मैं screen out हो गया, पता नहीं क्यों. और जो बेकार वाले stories narrate किए थे, वो screen in हो गए, वो कैसे? मतलब all these kind of questions arise. But you should understand that it is a total, it's a complete process. Okay, it is just not one element that is going to decide. Okay, all right. So let's
Yes,
go to the next.
thank you, ma'am.
Let's take another question. Who's next? Please raise your hand. No more questions? Yeah, Jatin. You can raise your virtual hand. Jatin.
Ma'am, I would like to ask regarding the self-description. Will we prepare the self-description in advance? Because at that time, psychologists say that whatever the first thought that come in your mind, you should write that.
Okay, so self-description, there is no instruction that says, what is the first thought that comes to your mind. Most of the times, I would say that you can prepare your self-description. Okay, because it's a very clear-cut instruction. It only says that you have to write what is the opinion of others. So, and there are very clear 5 headings that are given to you. Okay, so one is parents' opinion, one is teachers, one is friends, and then the 4th one is what kind of a person you are, and the 5th one is what kind of a person you would like to be. These are very, very clear, and there is no instruction that says you have to write what is the first thing that comes to your mind. That is the word association. Slightly, I think there is a confusion here. Okay, that's WAT. That is where we say that you have to write what is the first thing that comes to your mind. So yes, the answer to your question is you can prepare your self-description in advance. Okay, and if you're very confident that you can remember it and write it, then please prepare. But if you feel that you're not going to remember it too well, then you can take it spontaneously. It's absolutely fine.
And
Yeah.
ma'am, one more question. Ma'am, is there more expectation from repeaters
No,
in the SSB?
no.
Okay.
You're all treated the same. So there is no extra expectation. We only expect the candidates to listen to the instructions and follow whatever we have asked for. That's all.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next, please. Who's next? Neha, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, no such doubt because ma'am has cleared everything in class.
Good. Yeah, Manish.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn your
I
camera
want to
on.
ask. Can I ask without video camera?
Yeah, go on, Manish. I
Yeah,
think it's
okay.
okay.
Ma'am, I want to ask that in case the WAT, if there is a situation like a boy is going along the road and suddenly he is being hit by a truck, now what you will do? So can we write it like directly, like noted the car number, provide first aid, hospitalize him, and lodge FIR?
Yeah, so that is SRT. It's not WAT. So you're saying that so you put yourself in that situation when if you think that you are going to be hit by a truck. So you tell me what exactly would be your reaction.
No,
Would you
I
really?
believe he's asking, Manish is asking, if he can write in that short.
I got it, but I am trying to understand what exactly he would do if he's hit by a truck. That's all.
My actual action may be slightly different.
Yeah.
However, the response I will prefer to write will be this only, which I mentioned.
No, why should you write that if that is not going to be the action? You think practically and tell me, Manish, if a truck has hit you from behind, okay, let's just put yourself in that place. Do you think you will have the time to, you know, look at the car number and you know, would you be able to do all those things?
Now, the situation which I say that another boy being hit by a truck, and what I will do to provide
Okay,
him.
so so that is a different situation. If you are looking at somebody who's being hit, okay, so your
Yes.
first reaction is to go and help that person. All right. So the order in which you write your response is also important. Okay, so you can say, instead of putting it in points, you can say that whilst rushing to help that, you know, person who was injured, he also noted down the car number and then took this guy to the hospital, gave him the necessary treatment, and then lodged a complaint with the police, because that is the last thing that should be on your mind. The first thing on your mind is to help that person who is injured. Okay, so priorities matter. Your you know, way of writing, the order in which you write. So instead of putting it in points, you write it in the form of a sentence. Okay, so you say he immediately rushed and, you know, picked that boy up, noted the car number, took him to the hospital, got him treatment, and then went to the police station and complained.
Ma'am, since if we write it like a full sentence, then it will take more time. So I want to
No,
use
it
a
wouldn't.
more
It
short.
wouldn't take that much time. It really wouldn't take that much time, believe me, because you know, you actually get 30 seconds to write a full response.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. Next, if ma'am is saying that you do get time, that means everyone who gets selected does that. So you can also do that if you want to
Yes.
get selected.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say that, you know, you don't really have to complete all 60 responses. Okay. Even if you're writing, say, 40, 45 responses, and if those responses are, you know, content oriented, then you still have a very good chance of getting recommended. In fact, there have been situations where, you know, there are candidates who've just written 30, 35 responses and have been recommended. So it is just a myth that you have to complete all 60 responses and, you know, you really have to rush through and write it like in short phrases. No, that's not the case.
All right. Next, who's next?
I guess everybody is clear.
Yeah. So
They all have
all right.
understood.
So you have no doubts. So we will finish off while writing. Yeah, that somebody's asking how,
You're
ma'am.
lost.
Ma'am, sometimes while writing that we are lost of any ideas, themes. What to do?
So okay, so see, you really don't need to have ideas and themes while writing your thematic perception. I keep repeating this because the situation is very clear. You know, the picture that is shown to you is very clear. It is already giving you a theme. They are already giving you an idea. All you have to do is write a story around the idea that has already been given to you on a platter. Okay, so story writing skills. I think somebody's mic is on. My voice is like echoing. Ashutosh, I think Ashutosh can mute himself. Okay, I think that's much better. Okay, so all right. So that's what I was telling you, that you do not really have to have ideas and themes. Okay, so once the picture is shown to you, all you have to do is observe it carefully and then write a story based on whatever has been shown to you. That's it. That's all. That answer. There's somebody called Prince, I think, who's raised his hand. Okay.
Yes, Prince, go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, I have this query that many times this happens that like when we are preparing for it and everything is going fine, and someday, lot of negative thoughts start revolving in our mind that what if I don't get recommended, or like what if I get screened out or something happens and I end up not getting selected, and like if I reach to my last attempt and I'm still not able to make it, then what will I do? Like the whole progression, the whole mindset is like very much diverted. Like from the very pace you were going towards your goal, then you lose everything and you are like that, man, it's quite difficult. It is 50-50 probable that you may get selected or may not, because when you are not selected, when you are either conferenced out or screened out, you are not really told the reason that you are being conferenced out or screened out for this reason. It always remains unknown. You yourself have to find it out. So that is a very difficult task. So how do we like keep our mind in a very specific manner, that yes, I can do this and I have to follow this, I have to follow things in this particular manner.
Okay. See, your question is very different. The thing is, I feel that most of us we given our best to actually achieve something that we want to. Okay, and if you truly are putting in the efforts and to do what you want to do, I think most of the time you tend to make it. All right, but there can be instances like what you're saying, where probably you are not able to get recommended in the SSB. Maybe there is something else for you through which you will also be able to contribute to the nation, maybe through another kind of role. Okay, so that is what we keep saying, that you should not get disappointed just because you do not get recommended in SSBs, because maybe you are not a fit there. Okay, but you might really do well in another area or in another work zone. Okay, and I'm sure that this is something that you must have heard over time. They say that there are cases like you see our former Mr. Abdul Kalam, or you see Amitabh Bachchan. They say that all these people came to the SSB, but they did not make it. Okay, but does that make them somebody? But look at the way things have turned out for them. Okay, they've done extremely well in other careers that they have chosen for themselves. So like maybe if you are not able to make it here, probably it will enlighten another totally different career path for you. I think Sadhana will be able to say a little more on this, because she's a personality coach and trainer. I really feel that you are destined. If you are destined, you will be there. And if you're putting in the efforts, and if you're really passionate about something, you generally will make it, Prince. So 99%, I think you will make it. All right, that 1%, well, we leave it to destiny. That's it.
Another,
Thank you, ma'am.
another lesson that I would like to give you here is add on to what Lily said. She well said, well put there. But remember one thing, that nothing is in your hand. What is in your hand is to focus on your task, to concentrate on your psychological, test, focus on your GTO task, be fully present in your interview, do your best, do you, be you, and that's it. That's all. बाकी आगे क्या होगा, पीछे क्या होगा, होगा कि नहीं होगा. If you think all these things, I think you are exhausting your mind, and you are in a way limiting yourself. So don't get into all these things. Just focus, and like she said, 99.9%, you are going to make it. Like we did, she did, together. I mean,
And without any training. Okay,
without any training.
we didn't even have all these resources back then.
Absolutely. And we are, I think, same for Lily also. We are first generation officers. I mean, at least I am. Isn't it, Lily?
Yes.
First generation. I mean, nobody
Yes.
was there around to guide us and tell us that do this or that, behave like this or like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so if you want that, so if you have that goal that you want to achieve and you badly want to achieve, you will achieve it, no matter what. Yes, Jatin.
Ma'am, SSB is a personality access test, and basically I am a repeater, and I belong from a village background, so I will not get a diverse environment here to improve my communication skill. Is it English play a very important role in the English, very important role in the SSB?
I wouldn't say it is very important, but I would say yes, it is important because the medium in which you write your stories is predominantly English. They say that you can use a bit of Hindi in case you get stuck, but yes, you need to be able to communicate. Okay, because you may have the ideas, you may have that imagination, but if you're actually not able to put it on paper, how would an assessor know what you are thinking and what you are writing, right? Because if I do not know what exactly you want to express, if you cannot tell me what is it that is going on in your head, how will I assess you? So that is why language becomes a little important. Okay, but again, let me tell you that it is not very difficult to learn a basic English and put it on paper. We are not looking for high-fi vocabulary. No, simple English, simple grammar, that's it. You don't have to have like excellent skills. You just have to have average speaking and writing skills, that's all. And I think
Okay,
you're good enough. I mean, at least what you're talking here, I feel that is enough. Maybe you can work on it, not just for the SSB, but like you said, once you finish your education and you move on to work somewhere, you will still need the language to talk to people, to work. So all these things, today you'll be at an entry level worker, tomorrow you'll be leading teams, you'll have to talk to people, you'll have to communicate to your superiors, you will have to give instructions to your subordinates. So for all this you need a good language, right? A medium to communicate. So probably
okay,
you can take it just not for SSB, but for yourself. Learning a language is a good skill, right? So maybe you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
start focusing and start learning the language. It's not very difficult.
So here
Yeah.
I will add and tell you a few tips, and also let me tell you, if English was the criteria, then I would never have made it, because I'm from a very simple, humble English medium school, which is केंद्रीय विद्यालय. यहाँ पे इंग्लिश में कभी कोई बात नहीं करता है, सब हिंदी में बात करते हैं. तो कभी नहीं हो पाता. But somehow I worked on that language. जो भी होमवर्क होता था मेरे स्कूल के टाइम में, बहुत सारे बच्चे नहीं करके लाते थे, but I used to put in extra efforts to find out, go read Ren and Martin, और उसमें से निकाल के अच्छे से होमवर्क करके फिर मैं लेके जाती थी, and my teacher used to appreciate. In today's I think post I have mentioned, it was remarkable how she used to appreciate me, and how that used to give me encouragement to continue learning, and be consistent in my efforts, especially in this language. Now, अब कैसे सीखना है, मैं थोड़ा सा बता देती हूँ कि जब आपको कोई भी चीज आपको सीखनी होती है, तो आप बहुत ज्यादा उस चीज को जब करोगे, प्रैक्टिस करोगे, अपने आसपास रखोगे उसको, तो आप उस चीज में एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक आपके अंदर कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा उस लैंग्वेज को लेके या उस सब्जेक्ट को लेके. सो हाउ यू कैन गो अबाउट दिस, read a lot of books in English every day. Make it a point to read at least 1 hour, and feel that you're weak, then read it loudly. Okay, learn 5 words extra. Make it a point that you make your own dictionary. Can someone mute yourself? बहुत ज़्यादा disturbing आवाज आ रही है ना, मेरा thought process cut हो रहा है. Yeah. So I was saying that learn at least 5 words every day. Make your own dictionary. एक book बना लीजिए, उसमें every day learn 5 words and write the meaning and write its usage, and try to use it as often as you can. Okay. If you're watching news, watch English news. If you're watching movie, watch movie with English subtitles, and English movie with English subtitles. And speak, even if you make mistakes, speak as much as you can with your friends, with people who you can speak with. So that is how you improve. The more you use that language, the more you will become comfortable in it. The more it becomes better. That's
Yeah, I completely agree, Sadhana, because especially, a language it's unless you put it into use, you will never be able to learn that language. Your friends might make fun of you if you're, speaking a little incorrectly, but just don't give up. Just keep talking, continue talking. That's it. It will automatically become a part of your communication.
And another thing is communication. में जो language का aspect है, that is one aspect. There are so many other aspects to communication. Okay.
Yes.
There's your body language, your expression, your tonality, intonation. Okay. And so many other things: empathy, confidence, smile, eye contact. All those things are very important. They constitute 93% of communication skill, and language and or verbal skill is just 7%. So much is conveyed through your body. Okay, so pay attention there. So communication is not just language. Don't misunderstand it like that. Okay, so focus on these areas as well, your body language and all. How confidently you're speaking, whether you're making eye contact or not, whether you have that gentle smile on your face or not, all those things. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, my pleasure. Next.
I think there are a few questions in the chat box.
On the chat, yes, I wanted to take them.
Yes.
So there's Sahil, who's a serving person.
Soldier.
Yeah, he's a soldier. And he says, Jai Hind ma'am, I'm a serving candidate in Indian Army. Our psychology and idea is very different. How to change it? Every picture I put on my ideas, that same like as a soldier. How to work out in this? My SSB is in November, same problem in VAT and in SRT. So,
what is he trying to say? Is he saying?
Sahil, you can just unmute yourself and ask on your own. We will understand it better. पता है आपके आवाज से, आपके body language से बहुत कुछ हम बेहतर समझ सकते हैं. तो please आप unmute करके अपनी
Yes, Sahil.
Actually, right now I'm posted in Jammu and Kashmir. I'm in forward area. So network is not so good right now. And we don't have so much time to just practice this. So my question is this: how have been through this psychology? Because visit in SSB, I was still on PPT because my narrative was not that good. So the pictures we saw. Even our dash is small also. The picture is shown that we have the same picture, we have the same story like we are saving. So what we have to just work on.
Okay, was it very clear, Sadhana?
Yeah, it wasn't very clear.
It wasn't. Okay, at least I think, whatever I've understood, Sahil, I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer your query, but let me just tell you whatever I've understood. I think you're trying to ask us. Yes. Yes.
What we think is that we have to have something like that, help soldiers, what is in our mind that we have to we have to just think like because stories like the stories there is some difference and our story is just going in another way.
Okay, no, Sahil. So, see, you don't have to write stories like a soldier. You don't have to. All right. So when you are looking at a particular picture, all right, if there is something related to a common man, then you try thinking like a common man and you write your story. But if there is a picture that has some kind of an insurgency or something to do with uniform or those kind of things, I think you have an upper edge because you've already been there and you know what exactly happens because practically you have seen those kind of things. So that is where you're expected to think like a soldier because you are already part of it. Okay. So in terms of TAT story writing, so that is what you have to keep in mind. places which require your expertise or places where you have already been part of. So those things you can bring out in your pictures and sorry, your story writing. But certain situations do not demand that. Certain situations are very simple. So, and you can think like a common man and write stories also accordingly. Okay, and similarly, even in SRT, okay, most of the situations will be related to things that people face, not just as a soldier but as a common person, okay, like a layman. And then you can write your reactions and actions that you will do in that particular situation. Okay, but again, if there is a situation that talks about some attack, or a place where people are trying to run away, or some kind of a situation like that, well, yes, you will have to think like a soldier there, because you have must have seen some things like that, because you said you're in the forward area. I'm sure you must have come across situations like that, so you can actually put it on paper. So that is not a problem. I hope that was your question, okay, because your voice was a little uh, there was disturbance in the audio. So I really hope that that was your question and I was
Yes,
able to
ma'am. Yes,
answer it.
yeah, forward area. So network is not so good.
Okay, was your question answered, Sahil?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, okay, Sahil, thank you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. So we have some more questions in the chat box, and it is from Prince. What kind of mindset should he try to present?
Mindset.
Hmm.
I didn't understand that question.
Basically, he's asking about how to show that he's that officer like material, or he has those OLQs. That's what maybe. That's
Okay.
what is the mindset. I mean, indicating.
Okay, so how, I mean, is he saying how to go about these stories? Is that his,
Sure,
all
yes.
his
Unmute
responses?
yourself and please ask your question, because
Ma'am, no,
sometimes
no, no,
I'm
no.
not able to
No,
ask.
ma'am. There was someone else who was asking this question, who was a serving soldier. So I understood that he's trying to ask that what kind of mindset should he present in the SSB. So I was just conveying the same to you.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, yeah, got it. So yeah, I think we answered his question, so I think it's fine. So, but then coming to what kind of a mindset, I think somebody who will be able to be logical in their approach, and somebody who people can be dependent on, and somebody who's willing to help others and adjust himself or herself with different people, different situations. All these are traits that we look for, because being an officer in the armed forces is going to be about all of this. Okay, how you are able to observe your surroundings, or how you are able to use your intellect in different kinds of situations, how you are able to get along with diverse teams, and how good you will be as a leader, take your subordinates forward, and how good you will respond to stressful situations and keep yourself calm under pressure. So all these things are important. Okay, so this is the kind of attitude or approach or mindset that we look for. If that is one of the questions, yes, this is what we look for.
Well said.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens that in the group discussion, the situation like fish market occurs, and we are not able to convey the thoughts we are meaning to. How to tackle that?
See, you really don't have to. First of all, don't have to make it a fish market, but then you have to be very clear when you're doing your individual narration. Okay, because you already gain the attention of the assessor whilst narrating your story. Okay, the first part of the PPDT, where you mention about the characters and the situation and the age, mood, gender, and you talk about your story, right? You're given 1 minute to talk about that. So there itself you make an impact. Okay, so if you are very confident in your narration, if you have a logical story, and if you can end the story well, you already caught the assessor's attention. Okay, and after that, you have to pay attention to the people around you, the different kind of stories that will be coming out from other candidates, and and be a part of the group discussion, though you are not able to really talk too much in the group discussion, but at least if once or twice you're trying to bring in other people's ideas and also convince them about your idea, I think that's good enough. you know Even if other people are yelling and shouting and making it a total like a fish market situation that you're talking about, it is still fine if you have made an impact already through your individual narration and through 1 or 2 points that you must have said after the group discussion started.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, any more questions? We are approaching the end of the session. So if there is any more question, please quickly ask. And
Ma'am, I do have.
yeah, please go ahead.
Ma'am, like my question is that I personally feel that all the very important decisions that we take in our life should be at least justifiable to ourselves. So like I am preparing for NDA and like I haven't enrolled in any college so far, even though my parents recommended me that you should enroll in some college so that
I lost him.
Maybe some network issue. Let's wait.
Yes. In the meantime, there is somebody who's asking if I want to improve my personality within 1 year, then
no,
what
ma'am.
should be my
No, ma'am,
strategy?
that's not the question. What I mean to ask is that does it reflect a poor side of me that like I should have kept an alternative option with me? Like if I would have enrolled in a college, then I could have saved that 1 year. Because let's say that if I don't get recommended till my last attempt, then I would have lost 1 year, which I could have used if I would have enrolled in a college. So like does it reflect a poor side of me that like I don't have an alternative plan, even when I was advised I did not enroll in any college? So does that show a wrong side of me that no, this is a poor decision that I took? Because I personally feel that this is very justifiable because I wanted to give my best, my all time to this these two attempts which I am left with. So I just wanted to know that am I taking a wrong decision?
So which attempt is this, Prince?
This is my third last attempt, ma'am. The one which
The
is going
third,
to be in November.
the
Yes,
third
ma'am.
attempt. Okay. And when did you finish your schooling?
This year only, ma'am.
Okay. So this year, when you say this year, 2021.
March.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just looking at the number of months that have passed by.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, there are people who take a break in their educational career, not just for SSB preparation, but if you see even for other preparations, like when somebody is preparing for medicals, somebody is preparing for their engineering entrances like JE, somebody that they are not able to decide on what is the career path that they want to take. So it is all right. Okay. If you have made up your mind that you want to focus completely on services selection NDA, to be very specific, and if you're working towards it, it is okay. But I feel, I mean, it's a personal opinion, so I wouldn't want to influence it on somebody. But I feel that like what your parents are saying, you could have enrolled yourself in a college, because most of them do that. They enroll themselves, and because SSP preparation, it's not going to take 1 year of your time. Okay, to be very honest, you do not need so much of time to prepare yourself. If you have already started investing in your personality, right from, say, if you have, like, I do not know when you took the decision of wanting to be in the forces, whether it just started in the 12th standard or whether it started much before that, so I do not know. That's why I said it's a personal choice. If somebody has always thought that they want to be part of the forces, they would have started this right from their 10th, 11th, and they would have already decided what is it that they want by now. But if it is a recent decision that you took, maybe that's the reason you must
No,
have
ma'am.
wanted a break. Yeah.
It's been like from my very childhood, I have always wanted to like join the military, and
Okay.
specifically
Okay.
NDA. Yeah.
Okay. So see, so if that has been the case, why do you need a separate year for preparing yourself? You know,
Not
so
separate year, ma'am. Like what I mean to say is that let's say my written exam is in November,
Mhm.
and by the time my SSBs are conducted, it would have been February or March of next year,
So
which
don't
means
you think your written examination is based upon whatever you have been learning from your 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? I think NDA exam is all about that, right? Whatever you've studied in school.
yes, ma'am. But
Yeah.
no, ma'am. What I feel is that if I enroll in college, then I will be, having works, a lot of assignments, works from the college, and then I will get. I won't be able to, manage time. Like there will be amount of time, a considerable amount of time, which I'll have to invest for college, like in assignments, do studying, do classes. So what I wanted to do was to improve myself as much as time I have. I wanted to invest that all for ND only.
Okay, so okay, fine. See, so this is a personal thing that you have chosen,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you wanted to, give your full time. But why I'm asking you this is, say for example, you join, okay,
Yes,
tomorrow
ma'am.
you become a part of the NDA. There will be so many things that you will have to do at a particular time. You will have to study, you will have to do your physical exercises, you'll have to do parade, you'll have to do your punishments, and in addition to that, you'll have to take care of your laundry and your, day-to-day chores. How will you manage all this? Isn't it?
Like here I have like something to lose. Like if I do something wrong, let's say if I make some blunder which can be a reason for my rejection, then
Mhm.
I'll have something to lose, which is so important for me. But in the academy, if I do something wrong unknowingly, unintentionally, that won't be a big deal. Like let's say I don't reach on parade at time, so I'll be most probably getting punished for that, but I won't be thrown out of the academy for that. Like there I have the on the minus side I have a very minimal thing, but here if I don't do
Do you
well,
know
then I
that?
have.
Do you know that if you don't study well, then you're relegated? Are you aware of that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Prince. So see, anyways, I mean, there's no point in discussing right now about this because you've already taken a decision to, take this year. Only thing is, you should be able to justify this in your interview. Say, for example, you clear your ND and then you go for your SSB, you get screened in, and this question will definitely arise during your interview. Okay. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
should be able to handle that question well. That's all. You should be able to convince the assessor that, okay, so this is the reason I took a break because of so and so things. And you should be able to convince them in a good way. That's all. So that is the only thing that you have to focus on right now. So don't worry about having taken a break and all those things. Just keep it aside. Only focus on the answer as to how you will tell, what you will tell them when this question is asked to you.
Okay,
That's
ma'am.
it. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
Yeah.
I have a same doubt on that question only.
Hmm.
Ma'am, there is a job column in the PIQ form,
Yes.
and one of my friend is right now working in the Indian Armed Forces. He has
Hmm.
got recommended from Bangalore. तो उसने मैम मेरे को बताया था कि this column is going to make a big difficulty for you to justify yourself. क्योंकि मेरी ग्रेजुएशन हो चुकी तो मैम उसने बस मेरे को इतना बोला था कि जॉब करने वाले लोग ही ज्यादातर पसंद आते हैं ऑफिसर्स को जो वहाँ अवेलेबल रहते हैं तो उसने ये बात बोला कुछ ना कुछ कर घर मत बैठ खाली तो आई वुड लाइक टू क्लैरिफाई दिस थिंग आल्सो
See, what your friends have said is right. Okay, because when you come to the services selection board, right, we're trying to see what is the candidate's past and what is it that they have been doing all along. So if you are somebody who's finished and if you're not doing anything in your life, at the moment, so it kind of gives an indication that probably you do not know what is it that you want to be, or you're not very sure on certain things. Okay, so instead of doing that, it is always better to show that you are utilizing your time, efficiently. You're not
मैम
wasting time.
एक्चुअली आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर डिफेंस ओनली तो उसी के लिए आई डिडंट ज्वाइन आई गॉट प्लेस फ्रॉम माय कॉलेज आल्सो बट इसकी प्रेपरेशन के लिए मैंने ज्वाइन नहीं किया
So,
Okay.
I will add here, Lily.
Yes, yes, sir. Go ahead.
So, armed forces में बहुत ज़्यादा pressure है और अभी लिली मैम ने बताया कि जब हम एकेडमी में होते हैं, एकेडमी में हम जितना भी हमने वक्त बिताया है एकेडमी में, पर्सनली मैंने और लिली मैम ने, वी आर पोस्टमेट्स, और हमें बिल्कुल हमें खाने का टाइम नहीं मिला है, ठीक है, और हम दौड़ दौड़ के अपने डाइनिंग एरिया में जाते थे, वार्डरूम में, और दौड़ दौड़ के आते थे, और बिल्कुल सोने का टाइम नहीं मिलता है, खाने का टाइम नहीं मिलता है। वहां पे आप ब्रेक ले पाओगे क्या? आप कह पाओगे कि थोड़ा सा ब्रेक ले लेता हूँ 1 महीने का, फिर आके करता हूँ, फिर शायद हो जाएगा? तो नहीं हो पाएगा। सो अगर लाइफ के ही सिचुएशंस में आप इस तरीके से कर रहे हो कि आप ब्रेक ले रहे हो, और आप ये कह रहे हो कि मैं पूरा प्रिपरेशन इसके लिए ही देना चाहता हूँ, ऐसे बहुत लोग हैं जो काम करके और फिर प्रिपेयर करते हैं और फिर जाके क्लियर भी करते हैं, तो डेफिनेटली आपके मुकाबले उनको लिया जाएगा, क्योंकि वो ज्यादा प्रेशर हैंडल कर रहे हैं, और आर्म्ड फोर्सेस इज ऑल अबाउट दैट। सो कुछ ना कुछ तो करना चाहिए, बिकॉज हैविंग supporting your family through your financial contributions and all that is important. That reflects upon your personality as to how much you are contributing, how much you are with your family, how much you are able to handle the pressures, how much you are in the decision making of the family matters and all that. It says a lot about your personality there.
Okay.
So bad ke I don't want to make you feel bad about it, कि आपने ड्रॉप किया है, जो कर लिया है, लेकिन ये है, मतलब अगर आप सब छोड़ के बैठ के बस ये कह रहे हो कि प्रिपेयर करना है, तो वो बहुत ही ज्यादा डेट्रीमेंटल हो सकता है आगे के लाइफ के लिए। क्या पता आपने 1 साल का लिया गैप और उसके बाद आप गए और आप नहीं हो पाए, आप शैटर्ड फील करोगे ना। उससे अच्छा आप प्रिपेयर करते रहो, एक जॉब ले लो जहाँ पे भी आप कर रहे हो, जो भी कर रहे हो, डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ मच यू कैन डू नाउ, प्रिपरेशन के साथ, या फिर आपके कॉलेज में जो आपको मिला था आप वो ले सकते थे। तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट यू कैन डू राइट नाउ विद योर प्रिपरेशन एंड योर प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन, फाइनेंशियल सिचुएशन एंड ऑल दैट, यू कैन टेक अप समथिंग एंड साइमल्टेनियसली प्रिपेयर। सो वहाँ पे ही आपके पॉइंट में क्वेश्चन मार्क लग जाता है कि मैंने 1 साल ड्रॉप किया और मैंने कोई काम नहीं लिया, और इस स्टेज में हूँ। सो दैट इज द पॉइंट दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक। प्रेशर बहुत है, सो अभी से प्रेशर लेना सीखिए, तो आगे के लिए अच्छा रहेगा।
Okay, thank you,
ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Bhim Singh, ma'am. I have a little doubt. Like recently, I was screened out from AFSB. So in my screening, I thought that everything was quite okay, not so good, but quite okay. But in GD, like I had good narration and like a good story. And in GD, I also participated, and I convinced on others on 2-3 points. But I think that when in GD, I directly went with the story I directly went with the group, like a common story, instead of insisting on my story. And
I lost his audio.
All right. So anybody else, while he is trying to reconnect, anybody else?
Are you getting me? I'm Bhim Singh. Hello. Ma'am, are you getting me? I'm Bhim Singh.
Yes, we can hear you, Bhim Singh.
Yes,
Go
we're
on.
waiting for you.
Okay, ma'am. So as I was saying that when in GD, I initially went with the common story, like with the group, instead of insisting on my story and my point. So and along with this, at the last, I recommend a guy for common story, like who couldn't participate much in the GD. So I gave logic that we should recommend him as the get opportunity in the GD as well. So therefore, I recommended him, and I also couldn't complete the common narration
I'm saying your voice is getting disconnected.
Yeah. So ma'am, is it maybe the reason of my screen out?
No, that cannot be a reason for you getting screened out just because you recommended somebody else to talk. And that's your question, right, Beam Singh? Because your voice was
No,
getting
along with this,
disconnected in
like,
between.
yeah, and along with this, like, I think the major reason is just after narration, I went with the common story instead of giving any point in favor of my personal story or my personal theme.
That's okay. That's not a problem. That may not be the reason.
Okay, and so ma'am,
Yeah,
like,
ma'am.
ma'am, just one more issue. Like
Yes.
the picture was like a few soldiers or the persons were dropping from a helicopter on a building with a rope. So there were two themes in the whole group. One was a military operation and one was a rescue operation from the flood and so on.
Okay.
So I went with the military option, counter terrorism operation in a building. So
Okay.
so one of my friends said that you should not make these kind of story like terrorism and operation and so on.
Okay.
So is it maybe an issue?
See, again, it depends on how you have put across those ideas. Okay. It like tell me exactly what did you write and how did it go?
Like according to my story, like I
Mm-hmm.
made a story like Ram was a captain in the Indian Army and posted in Jammu and Kashmir. One
Okay.
day he got input that there were some terrorists in a building,
Okay.
and he got orders from his officers to neutralize them. So he immediately made his team and made a plan and told them about the plan. After that, they landed on the building with the helicopter. They take their position, and they first of all they evacuated the residents from the building, and after that they encountered the terrorists for approximately 2 hours and successfully killed all four terrorists without any casualty. After that, his seniors appreciated him for his bravery and leadership. That's all.
Okay. See, your story seems absolutely okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I couldn't, like I was at that after my GD, I was
Mm-hmm.
feeling that I'm going to be screened in. I was very much confident. Even my group members were also congratulating me, like you are going to be screened in. And when they were results, I was surprised. Like everything was quite
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I understand. We do not know exactly what could have gone wrong. How did you do your intelligence tests?
Like it was quite okay. Like in first day OIR, out of 50, I am sure that I more than I cleared approximately 40, and in second between 35 to 40.
Okay, okay. So even that seems reasonable. But again, Beam
Yeah.
Singh, see, it's very difficult to point out and say, okay, this could have been the problem. Because from what you're saying, it looks like, your narration went well and your group discussion also was okay and your thing, but we really do not know where exactly, you would have missed out.
Ma'am, I
Yeah, the
want to
same.
add. I want to add something.
Yes, Tarun.
I know the situation.
Mhm.
He has not put out the one thing in it. Actually, he nominated one person who was not able to narrate his story.
Mhm.
Second, he has not given any GD point.
Okay.
So he pointed out that person for the common story, and he was not able to give the common story.
Okay.
This was also one of the issue.
Oh, okay. And you feel that he should not have been screened in, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think this is also one of the reason कि जो narrate ही अच्छे से अपनी story नहीं कर पाया, जो group discussion में अपना point ही नहीं दे पाया, you are nominating that person.
See, but nominating a person, probably he must have been able to talk well, because if somebody has nominated a particular person to, express their stories, then I guess then maybe there was something about that candidate, right, for which he was chosen. Just like that, you
Okay,
don't nominate somebody, right? You don't nominate somebody just like that. There must be some belief in that candidate, that you might feel, okay, this person will be able to do a good job in expressing the final story or the common story.
So ma'am, like, is this maybe the only reason of screen out?
It could be. It could be. Maybe you were not very confident enough, or maybe there's something that must have got missed out.
Okay.
Yeah, because from what you're saying, ideally you should have got screened in, but there is something that is missing, and we are not able to identify what that is.
The same problem I'm also facing, ma'am. Couldn't recognize like where I missed it.
Yeah.
What was my fault?
All right, guys.
Okay.
So it's already 1.5 hours now, and we've stretched a bit to accommodate most of your questions. However, time is limited, and ma'am had some other commitments ahead. We keep on doing this every month, so keep a lookout for it. And those of you who want mentorship from us, we are 4 mentors. I handle personality development. So in case you feel that you are lagging in communication skills, and personality skills, basically interpersonal skills and all those aspects of your personality, then you please come to me, and then we move forward and mentor you for SSB, in which we have 3 mentors. Commander Lily is a psychologist, ex-psychologist, Bangalore. Lieutenant Commander Nikhil was a GTO, and Major General Shukla was an interviewer, ex-interviewer, Bhopal and Allahabad. So you can get in touch with us in case you want our personal mentorship. And we don't take so many candidates because we believe in individual attention. So in case you're interested, do get in touch. So we would have to end it here. Thank you so much, Lily, that you accommodated. You were busy and you accommodated this session.
There is one last query. Somebody is asking one last query. I don't know what that is.
Okay, please.
F62.
Okay,
Achha, is LASIK allowed in defense? Yes, it is. It is allowed these days. Initially, it wasn't in the past, but right now it is allowed. But there is a time period before which you should have done your LASIK. Okay, you'll need to read up about that. I think right now it's about a year or so. But yes, we need to get back to you on this. But it is allowed. I hope we've answered that question. F62. I don't know what's his name, but yeah.
All right. So yeah, so that's the end of it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Lily.
Thank you, Sadhana. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys have a great day. Bye. See you.